Young fingers are skilled at very few things, and though the freshness of their movements still carry the memory of crawling out the womb, they were already accustomed to the peel of garlic. Because garlic is a necessity, and peeling it doesn't take that much precision. Sit down in the kitchen and dig your nails into its outermost layer. Start pulling the crunchy protection apart until you're left with the rich whiteness of its interior. So in the shadow of my grandma's gaze, me and my cousins spent afternoons being called down into the kitchen to peel garlic.
Lo pelamos. Como lo vamos a pelar, le quitamos esta primera parte y enseguida salen las conchas. Muy fácil, ¿viste? Muy fácil.
Garlic's skin is firm and pale, nothing like grandma's skin, which wore this darker tone and wrinkles marking all the places it had stretched over the years. Maybe it stretched the first time when bringing life into the world, making space in her body that her house didn't have, or perhaps when cutting out the cancer from her throat, leaving the space of her voice without one to fill it. Maybe her skin formed crevices when her divorce took place, or stretched through the long death of her country. To the young eye, her skin was nothing more than skin, but to the skilled garlic peelers who know that crevices aren't made alone, her skin is a testament to a life of love and pain. Now, peeling garlic doesn't go without repercussions. Sometimes it was the last thing I wanted to do those summer days at grandma's house. I would stand over the sink and wash and rinse and soap, but there was no use, no way of getting rid of the smell. It's as if it's meant to remind you of the scars you have created in its body. The outside was my only friend at the time, for that's where I learned how to live. Everything is bigger when you're a kid. My favorite games were when I pretended to be the only living thing around. Happiness and the stillness of air and breathing into my own youth. I was often alone with only my thoughts. That's where I created stories of sounds, colors, and heartbreak. People underestimate how much a child really knows, even though, at the end of the day, knowing is all they have. That's how I lived back then. I would get hurt a lot and heal a lot more. Kids' pain tends to weigh less. I wonder if it was simply lifted up in the air during those years, then dropped over me later. The angel who was carrying it also gets tired. At some points, I was light enough to believe I could fly, just to discover my lightness was not my work at all. I used to pray late at night to her, my guardian angel. Whispered prayers, not silent. Innocent prayers, not mouthed ones, describing my dreams to fly far away.
No me desampares ni de noche ni de día. No me dejes sola, que me perdería. Cuida mis dulces sueños y que despierte con alegría. Amén.
I guess she must have not liked the scent of garlic. After that, the growing pains began. The girl inside of me was too big for my own body, and I never found how to embrace her. I was not too feminine or too graceful. You wouldn't stare at me and stop in awe. And slowly, when I stared at myself, I hoped for a dream that was much too far away. I had too many thoughts that poured out of me like a waterfall, fast and aggressive, and yet no matter how much water, I was never rid of the smell. The smell of garlic, the smell of the hopes I had as a child that left me always wanting more. If I were to have a conversation with that girl who held her heart in her hand and her opinion on her sleeve, pumping hard the organ into life and displaying her thoughts for everyone to see, if she would see who I've become, do I face her? Yet it's a smile that never leaves, one that holds me up and keeps everything going. I left and came back, changed and became someone different each time. I've switched myself on and off, and it all goes back to a girl who's made to lie with the extremes, to either be fully loved or hated completely, to hold her thoughts or fill the world with words and spaces with uncomfortable silence, and to be peeled apart one last time.